Next on Worcester News tonight, a second arrest is made in the theft of human remains from Hope Cemetery. And we met the man behind the effort to bring professional hockey back to Worcester. Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. We begin tonight at North High, where the search for the next Worcester Public School superintendent continues. In an open public meeting taking place at North tonight, the school committee heard from residents who offered their thoughts on the hiring process. Last night, a similar meeting was held at Doherty High School. Earlier this year, the school committee decided against hiring an outside search committee. Instead, they will make the decision. Parents and students we talked with are glad their input on the hiring process is being heard.
They have to have priority of their goals, and the goal should be safety of the children.
As a student, I really look to the superintendent as and foremost, a leader for the community and a leader for the student body who will look for their goals and look to what aspirations they have and what struggles and shortcomings they're suffering and try to either resolve that or bring them to the forefront and as a leading drive behind their initiatives.
The school committee is planning on selecting a new superintendent by mid-March. A local high school student is showcasing Worcester from a different angle. The Doherty High School senior created a montage video of the city with his drone. Our Olivia Lemon has the story.
I don't really want to be too known myself, but I'd rather just let the work be known. And so that's something I stand by.
17-year-old Curtis Kariuki has produced more than 150 music videos, but now he wants to branch out and try making a documentary.
It has 7 episodes that touches on 2 or 3 people each episode in the city that are working positively and creatively to pursue their craft.
The senior at Doherty High School created this montage video of Worcester to help get his name out.
So that when people see my name again, when the documentary comes out, they'll have a sense of security that it'll be something good.
Kariuki used his drone to film the video. He says it took him 2 days to shoot and a couple hours of editing to produce it.
I kind of just like to make everything flow. So like the first couple clips you see are just quick, like hard hitting, like you're able to identify that it's Worcester.
He says it shows some of the most recognizable landmarks in the city, like Union Station. He says it features music from an underground artist.
It was something you could hear at like a parade or something, so I felt that also added to the theme / mood of the video. It made people feel very happy.
Kariuki says it's exciting to see how many people have viewed his video in just the last week.
It was definitely a lot cooler because these are all people that live around here, and so it was definitely good knowing like there's 180,000 people in Worcester and 300,000 saw the video, so the majority of Worcester has seen the work.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
The city of Worcester receives more than $500,000 to help against gang violence. It's part of the Shannon grants handed out by the Baker-Polito administration. $6.3 million was spread across the state. City manager telling us the money Worcester received will go towards a number of things aimed at keeping kids off the streets, including recreational, educational, and job opportunities.
Is much better than a crime solved because it means there's no victim. So to the extent that we can get kids early on and get them involved in positive things, kind of draw them away from some of the temptations of gangs and drugs and other things that unfortunately lure a lot of kids in, I think is a good thing not only for the kids but for our neighborhoods and for the community in general.
Worcester was one of 15 communities to receive portions of the grant. A second arrest being made in connection to the thefts at Hope Cemetery in Worcester. Police in Bridgeport, Connecticut say they've arrested 40-year-old Felix Delgado for exhuming bodies from the cemetery. Bridgeport police arrested Delgado on a drug-related search warrant and say they found an altar with human skulls, dead chickens, and blood inside the house. Delgado told police he is a Santeria priest. Amador Medina was arrested back in December and charged with 5 counts of disinterment of bodies. Worcester County posted more foreclosure activity during 2015 than any other area in Massachusetts. This, according to a report from the Warren Group. The group says this is a 63% increase over 2014. Petitions for foreclosure and foreclosure auctions have increased dramatically over the last few months. November and December saw more than a 200% increase in foreclosure activity. The executive director of the Oak Hill Community Development Corporation says last year they helped 128 homeowners keep their homes.
Numbers are surprising. They keep going up, and they go up at alarming rates. We are now 7 years into the process of foreclosure prevention, so we're better able to anticipate the trends, and we work with the data on a daily basis to make sure that our services are appropriate.
Sawyer says the best way to avoid foreclosure is to talk with your mortgage company, look at refinancing, or to do a short sale. Worcester could find out this week if professional hockey is coming back to the city. The East Coast Hockey League's Board of Governors will vote on the city's expansion application on Friday. Arnie Madison caught up with the man trying to bring hockey back to Worcester and has more.
I got one shot.
Cliff Rucker has a big meeting in Michigan this week.
I feel a lot of pressure to deliver, and that's probably adding to my sense of being a bit nervous. You know, there's something at stake here.
What's at stake is bringing professional hockey back to Worcester. Rucker will meet with the East Coast Hockey League's Board of Governors to discuss his application for an expansion team to come to the city. He admits to being a little nervous, but also says he's ready.
On a professional level, I feel confident. I feel that we have a very compelling business case, a very solid presentation. We've done our homework.
Hockey left the DCU Center this year after the Worcester Sharks moved to California. The league they play in has moved several teams out west, while the ECHL has focused on the Northeast. Rucker has come in to try and fill the void left by the Sharks and has gotten a lot of support from the city.
Having a professional hockey team that brings people into the downtown, that is an ambassador for your city and region, is a real plus.
The Board of Governors will have final say when they vote on Friday. Rucker assures hockey fans his goal is to bring in a team that will score big with the city.
We want to win, we want to provide a really good experience at the game, and we want to be stewards and ambassadors of the team to the community.
We're all excited to see what happens in Kalamazoo this Friday.
An official announcement could come next week. Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
A police officer and a resident are recovering from smoke inhalation this morning after a fire in Marlborough. This broke out in the area of 182 West Main Street just before 6 o'clock. The building is a residential and commercial building. It's unclear how many people were in the building at the time, but everyone was able to make it out.
And a third alarm because we thought the fire had got well into the roof. We did maintain control and got quick control early on. We do not have an exact number of people that were displaced by the fire, but the building is not going to be habitable.
Fire departments from Hudson, Northborough, Sudbury, and Southborough assisted Marlborough crews with fighting the flames. A troubling report today from State Auditor Suzanne Bump on public assistance fraud. Bump says her office found nearly $14 million worth of public assistance benefits fraud during the last fiscal year. That's up more than 40% from last year. The cases included individuals or groups defrauding the state of benefits like food stamps, child care services, health care benefits, and cash assistance. Governor Baker will soon make his first nomination to the state's highest court. That's after Associate Justice Robert Cordy announced today that he plans to retire in August. Cordy was appointed by then-Governor Paul Cellucci back in 2001. He wrote one of the 3 dissenting decisions in the court's landmark 4-3 ruling in 2003 that made Massachusetts the first state to legalize gay marriage. Chief Justice Ralph Gantz says Cordy has authored hundreds of carefully crafted and reasoned majority opinions during his tenure. An Emmy Award-nominated actor makes a visit to Sullivan Middle School today in Worcester. He shared his stories of growing up in a broken community and how he was able to make a comeback. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
Emmy-nominated actor Richard Cabral says the gangs in Worcester are the same as the gangs he grew up with in East Los Angeles. Cabral plays a former gang member in ABC's American Crime. He told Sullivan Middle School students Wednesday it wasn't too long ago when he was in a gang himself.
I have been asked to come here and share my experiences with you all. My experience of gangs, my experience of drugs, my experience of jail.
Cabral spent 5 years in jail for violent assault with a deadly weapon. After he was released, he says he turned his life around.
I was told that I was to be a gang member, a drug addict, a jailbird for the rest of my life. I am standing before you here with a career in the film and television world.
Cabral's emotional speech resonated with many kids and faculty members.
The experiences which he has spoken about are experiences which are quite common within their experience. And coming out on the other side in the way that he described it, I think will be inspirational.
I feel like it was really interesting because it spoke to me based on the place that I live. It reminded me of me, so I just got emotional.
It was inspirational and a bit connecting.
The speech meant a lot to students, but also to Cabral. He is hopeful his past will help others and says his message will be successful even if he changes one child's life.
If I could be a voice to help out a child, then that was enough for me to come out here. It means everything because I was once that little boy. I was once that young child that grew up in a broken community.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News.